Welcome back to the Real Rhythm and Rhymes podcast, where we are connecting the diaspora globally. You know what I'm saying? Straight from the United States. This is episode 125. I'm your co-host Antonio Hughes with your host Andre Hughes. We got some riveting topics for you guys. Really want to take you through the ringer this week. Where are we gonna start?
Take me through there. Take me through there. Hey, take me through there. Tell me about this. We need new leaders. Tell me.
Okay, so Spotify is on kind of like the same way that I am right now. Like we need new leaders in hip hop, obviously. But what Spotify did was they picked a couple different artists. I'm gonna list them off in a second, but they took them, put them on billboards in their cities, and were claiming these people were some of the brand new leaders of hip hop. I'm gonna read off this list, and then I'm gonna also throw in some people that I think should be on this list or should have gotten this nom. And
Read the list, and then we'll give our opinions on it, and then we'll propose new people. Let's go one by one, though. Let's go one by one.
Okay, so let's go with the list first. We got Doechii, was one of them
for Florida, Tampa.
Tampa. And then we got Baby Keem, Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know why they put it in Vegas. I don't know if he's from Vegas, but you know what I'm saying. Then we got Central C. I think that's a good pick. We got Glorilla. I would also say that's a great pick. Where I'm gonna start to have my concessions is with Big X the Plug, which Big X the Plug is cool. He's not bad. And then Lil Tecca, and Rod Wave and Sexy Red are the new leaders in hip hop.
So they went essentially. So they just gave us a group of people and told us where they're from. It wasn't like this is the man in that city.
No. It was basically like we're picking these leaders in hip hop that we think are going to be kind of like the next up, and it wasn't like just based in the city. No.
Okay, read the list. Just read the names again. Just names.
Okay, so we got Doechii, Baby Keem, Central C, Glorilla, Big X the Plug, Lil Tecca, Rod Wave, and Sexy Red is the list.
How did Lil Tecca get on this list?
I don't know. I mean, I could say Lil Tecca is like he's been putting out some good albums in the past like 2 or 3 years, but he's been around for a long time. Like I don't think he's new leaders. I don't think you could call him that. Ransom came out in like what 2016, 2015. That was 10 years ago.
That's hilarious. I just think I don't know. It's just he don't belong on the list to me. Who made the list? Spotify?
Spotify did.
All right. Who you disagree with?
I would say I disagree with, like I said, Big X the Plug. I think I disagree with him for the same reason that you were disagreeing with me on Don Toliver, because Don Toliver, we could say he does a little bit more melodic stuff. I definitely, when I went back and listened, of course, I had to sit there and be like, maybe I need to take that back a little bit. But Big X the Plug kind of the same. Like he just made a whole country album. Like he does a lot of singing. I will say, like in his first couple of albums it was a lot more rapping, but I don't know. I think he is going to be one of those people that we see around just because of his face value and stuff like that. But and then obviously Lil Tecca, I just think that's more so he's been around for a long time. Like I don't think his last couple albums were bad at all, but he's been around a while. I don't know if I put him there. Rod Wave is selling out stadiums and doing stuff like that, but I don't know if I would consider Rod Wave hip hop artist. I think it's kind of the same as Don Toliver again. Like, and then Sexy Red. I Sexy Red is cool, but I got two people that I think just are rapping better than her, female wise. So
I would say I agree with all your takes. I think Big X the Plug is an interesting one because I think he's made enough rap music to call him a rapper.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's made, and now he's venturing off into this country thing, which is like, I'm not gonna listen to it, but all right. And then, but he's still a rapper, you know, and he is one of the biggest, no pun intended. Like he's actually killing it rap wise. That was one of his best songs. That was a great pun, and it wasn't even like I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Sexy Red. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with her.
Get it sexy. Get it sexy.
But I think the rest of the list is fairly strong. I think Baby Keem is I don't know, bro. Do y'all young dudes actually like Lil Keem, like Baby Keem like that? Like I like him, but to be like on this list, I don't know if I'm there with it.
I think the thing that gets him on this list would be like kind of like his stage show appeal too. Like when he went and did everything with Kendrick. Like, of course, Kendrick was there, but there was a lot of shows where it was like you could feel the energy was mostly coming from Keem, and like Baby Keem is like one of those people in the newer generation, I would say. But like I said, I still think there's some other people that I think are maybe rapping better than him, doing better that I would put in this list.
Who would you put on the list? Because personally, um, I can think of one name, but who would you put first?
JID would definitely be on this list for me. Like I
That
feel
was the
like
only name I had.
yeah, like I feel like he has to be on this list. If you would have asked me 2 or 3 years ago, I would have said Corday. I don't know about that now. Um, I would say Gunna. Gunna is a tough one though because that's kind of like Little Tecca. Like I feel like he's been around for a minute, but I feel like right now it's kind of like he's been running stuff right now. Like I feel like the come up for real was
I would
really
say Gunna
here.
before Lil Tecca.
Yeah, and that's why I
I
feel like
think
I
he's
feel like
more
Gunna.
relevant right now. Yeah.
That too. Yeah, I think he's like one of the most relevant. And then on the female side, I had Latto, which I thought that I don't think that's a bad one. Like seeing Latto live definitely made me think that like she has a really good stage show. I feel like um the young girls love Latto. And I don't know, listening to that last album she had, I re-listened to it like a couple weeks ago and I still think the album's crazy. But another one that I think is like kind of like a sleeper that would be more so on the backpacker side of stuff would be a Samara Sin, like another one I saw live, but I think she's making real good music right now. I think she could be one of the better rappers as far as females in the next couple of years. She's newer, but a person I'm watching for. So
She's still underground to me. Like
yeah,
she not broadly known yet.
yeah, that's true.
Um I think the Rod Wave was interesting though, because I do think there's like, and I was thinking more about this after our conversation. There is this genre of singer who we just acknowledge as hip hop.
Yeah,
You know, it's very odd. Like Ja Rule. I was tripping for a second. Like a Ja Rule, he's a rapper, but he did a lot of singing records. He did
hell
a lot
yeah,
of singing records. That's interesting. I think we would make a better list. I'm gonna make a carousel for that. I'm gonna make a carousel for that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna post that up. But that was interesting. I do think that hip hop is not in this place now where like there's not a Drake. I don't know if we ever get another artist, rapper that big. He might be the last one. I don't think there's gonna be a rapper bigger than Drake. I look back to think about the biggest artist before Drake, and I think it was Michael Jackson. Like I don't know who was bigger than either of them in between them. Can we agree?
no, I can agree with you on that for sure. Like,
Okay. I was
like you
just
said,
saying I was just saying that Michael Jackson was the peak of he was a pop artist, but he was really derived from like R&B and soul. And after him there was nobody bigger in that genre ever. You could argue like there's nobody bigger than him ever in that genre. And so you could argue Drake is hip hop and pop. And I don't think we get another bigger one ever. And so my hypothesis is that this isn't the end of hip hop. Hip hop won't end. Like R&B didn't end, but it is no longer the biggest genre.
yeah,
It will at some point be dethroned. That's what I will say. Because
yeah,
if I go back and watch this pod for the last 4 years, I've been yelling, "Yo, hip hop's dead. Hip hop." I've been on this. I've been on this. Yo, it's dead. It's over with. And I be out here bumping Ludacris. So I don't know what I be talking about. But
yeah,
I think I want to get to the history topic last. What I do want to get to is Foggy Raw's album. Foggy Raw put out a project called With No Due Respect. And I will say I was a fan of him uh in his in the way that he told stories, especially from a content perspective, because I work in marketing and all that. So I found his stuff to be very compelling, and he was a great writer, so I liked it a lot. But a lot of his music that he was putting out, I didn't particularly like, if I was being honest. Like there was only a couple songs that I would go back to. So when he put this project out and I saw the names on it, I knew I wanted to give it a real go. Basically, let's see. It's 17 songs, 51 minutes, and the features include Larry June, Ari Lennox, John Legend, uh, Dave James, Swiss Beats produced on here, and then I think Raphael Sadiq potentially produced on here. Don't quote me on that last one. But I actually like this project. I like this project, and I feel like the production choice, his production choice matches his tone. My favorite songs on here are Faith Lies, Disrespectfully Decline with Larry June. I was very surprised that these two, I was surprised that these two hadn't worked together earlier after hearing them together. They kind of make sense. And then there's a song on here called Huey and Riley, which I really like a lot. The only thing I didn't like about this album is because he sounded like his voice sounds a little bit monotone, even though he really be rapping. And so it does get a little monotonous sometimes. And so the production that broke it up, or the voices sounded different, or he brought in a feature, it really made sense. Like I think he would make sense next to just all rappers. You know, like you just put all rappers on there, the contrast between the two sounds really good. So it was hard to listen to the entire project front to back, like in one listen. I couldn't do that, but there were definitely songs on here that I liked.
I'm definitely gonna have to go check this out. It's funny that Larry June was on there because like he gets that same exact knock. Like it can just be so monotonous because it's so monotone, so laid back. But I'm definitely excited to listen to this. I'm kind of mad I didn't hear it yet.
The last thing I wanted to say, this week I've been listening to T.I. a lot. Urban
Yeah.
Legend by T.I. Have you heard that song he has called ASAP?
Yeah.
I kept hearing that song went viral on TikTok a little while ago, the beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, this beat is hard. And I forget where I heard it again last week. And then I was like, I need to go find this song. And I went and found the song on the album, and I just started to let the album play. That album is tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit on there. I'm not gonna lie, there is.
That
That's probably one of his
album,
best albums.
man, if you can, and this is the thing, I knew he had hits, but I didn't know he'd be rapping like that. Like there's songs on here where he's putting together words in a way where it's like it sounds so effortless, but that's not easy. Pharrell called him the Jay-Z of the South at one point, and I see the comparison. I don't know if I would compare the two, but in the way that they rap, it's like they're just talking to you, but when you go back and really listen to what they said, is actually nuts. Like The King, the intro was crazy. You Don't Know Me is a crazy record. ASAP is a crazy record. Praying for Help is an introspective, slower record. He was spitting on there. I didn't like it as much. Why You Mad at Me? Into Get Loose with Nelly. What They Do, BG. The Greatest by T.I. and Manny Fresh is like I'm in a car going 70 down the expressway, about to go do something I'm not supposed to be doing. That song is hard. And then he had features by Lil Kim on here, also Pharrell, Trick Daddy, Lil Jon, Lil Wayne on Stand Up. That's a crazy posse cut record. This album is 100% a classic. Like this is one of those albums you throw on and you're like, bro, where has this been all my life? This album was insane.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm doing the the series where I'm talking about like the different albums throughout the years and stuff that I'm listening to through this year, because the fact that I feel like there's people like a Ti or like a Ludacris or like a the one I did this week was on Brandy. It was self-titled by Brandy. Y'all see that come out, but um there's so many other things that these people have done and so many other ways that these people have shown up to us, even just in media specifically. Like T.I., a lot of people know him from obviously being in TV, being in movies, doing stuff like that too. He's done stuff outside of music. And for people who, like me, born in 2002, I might have missed that era. So it's important to go back and listen to albums like that. I definitely think it is, especially like a guy like T.I. Like he can really rap. And then I don't know if you saw the thing with his son, all the 50 Cent stuff, but like his son was snapping too, so that was pretty cool. But yeah,
Yeah. It is interesting to see him like still rapping and then go back and listen where he was like the man. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You debatably, like when I was thinking about it, he is debatably he's definitely a top 3 Atlanta artist ever. But I could see, like, looking at his albums now, because my thing is, this was one of his early albums. This was his second album, third project. That's a crazy feature list on that project. He,
Right.
like, we ain't even get into the Robin Thicke stuff. We ain't even get into the Rihanna stuff, the Drake stuff. Like, he got crazy stuff after that.
Mm-hmm.
After that, hits. And guess what came on after that? Fancy came on after the album. That is one of the crazy. That's one of my favorite T.I. verses.
But aren't you a breath of fresh air?
With all this
With all these
superficial
superficial
code, this is here. Gotta ball up in the gang, gotta pick a career. That song hard. But yeah, go check that album out. That album came out 22 years ago, which is crazy to say out loud.
Jesus.
I wanted to quickly tell you about Quiet Storm Radio. Have you heard of Quiet Storm Radio?
I have not, but I'm excited to hear about this one.
Quiet Storm Radio was a late night R&B radio show in 1975 after Smokey Robinson's album A Quiet Storm. This was late night slow drive R&B music. And I found the story to be interesting more out of how the show came to be birthed, because I didn't know a lot of this information. So in 1949, a radio station called WDIA became the first U.S. radio station to program entirely for Black audiences. So prior to this, there was nobody targeting and fully there for Black people from a radio perspective. It featured Black DJs speaking directly to Black communities. And why this was so big at the time was because it proved that there was a viable audience in media for something tailored to a different group of people, not just Black people, just any minority, right? They also had things on this radio station that you would only find in the Black communities, like church announcements, local advertising for small Black businesses, community news, civil rights messaging. Think about that. Civil rights messaging is before the civil rights era. It was very instrumental in a lot of the civil rights movements during the time, just Black radio in general, because it was a medium like a TV or a streaming or something to that degree, but for that period of time. And eventually, other radio shows in other markets started copying this trend, where it was like, okay, we have Black communities in our areas, in our states, in our cities, so we're going to start doing that. And eventually, this became the blueprint for Black radio stations moving forward. And this was on AM radio. And so in the 1960s and 70s, it started to transition into FM radio because there was higher sound fidelity. It sounded better over the radio waves. This is when larger audiences started building in cities like DC, New York, Detroit, Chicago, and soul music became the predominant shift or the focus point at the time. In 1976, Melvin Lindsay launched the Quiet Storm radio show from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. There was not a lot of DJ talk over these records, extended song blends, and romantic slow to mid-tempo focus. This was interesting to me because trying to build something like a radio show, part of a radio show is programming, right? It's not just putting out a ton of music. It's like curating what comes through. So that's something that I found to be super compelling, where it was like, this was not the traditional norm at the time, and he launched it anyway. And after that, urban stations started to copy that as well. So they all started to have a late night, slow jams, late night drive type of show in all of these big markets. And that's how you get artists like Luther Vandross, Anita Baker, Freddie Jackson, Another Name. You can cut that part out. I don't know who that is. I started to realize when you cut that part out. But I just found this to be interesting because, one, 1949 sounds insane for the first Black radio show. Two, it makes sense how it was used to disperse information. And three, late night drives in 1976 makes sense. I just thought that was super cool.
Yeah, I always, I was watching something about the first Black Muslims in Chicago the other day. I don't know why, but it was just kind of like late night watching YouTube, and I was like, you could just see every time I learn something new, I'm like, there is so much stuff they're deliberately leaving out of just Black people's story when it comes to America and stuff like that. Like the fact that I've never heard about stuff like that, but every single year in school, I'm hearing about the slaves, bro. I'm hearing about the slaves every single year, bro. That shit used to make me mad, but this was cool. This is definitely cool.
But that's the thing. Like, what I realized, we we talk about like how we didn't learn about these things, right? And that's why we come in here and do what we do. But like the more we do this and the more we put it out, like the more people are gonna like the more reinforcement we're gonna get, and then eventually there's gonna be people that be like, "Yo, we learned this on." I always say like the craziest thing to me a year ago, almost a year ago to the day, I had posted a video on YouTube, and a teacher posted in the comments that she was going to include it in her curriculum, um, in her classroom, which I thought was crazy. I thought that was insane just to think like some information that I gathered and learned about and wanted to share with everybody else is now being taught to children.
Yeah, that is actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
When you think about it like that, like, bro, this is why I don't like this term content creation. We are not the same. We're not the, I'm impacting curriculum, nigga. I'm
Nigga,
impacting curriculum.
bro, shut
What you
up.
impacted, bruh? Yeah. Yeah. Yo, what songs you got for the people this week, man? That's what I want to know.
Okay. I'm gonna give you all two real quick. One of them is gonna be Baby Money and GT Armageddon. This is in the vein of Babyface E, Rio, the Young OGVs, all that Detroit rapper. He's hard. And then we're gonna go with El Trote by Yandel. Yandel put out an album. Oh, what day was that? That was like last week or the week before. It was hard. I'm messing with that. January 22nd put out that album called Infinito. So go check that out. I got that for y'all.
Somebody I meant to come on here and talk about. You know who I actually really like in this new age of rap that I was surprised that I liked?
Who?
Zeddy Will.
Bro. Come on,
I
bro.
do. I
Now
do. And
his
let me
songs
tell
are
you
hard. I
why.
can't even lie. I won't even lie.
Let
His
me
songs
tell
are
you.
hard.
He's modern day. He's in the same genre.
That's Soldier
And
Boy.
in this year, yes, Soldier Boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun. And my thing is like what he does really well is he makes a good hook. And then like his verses don't be trash. Like Can't Go Broke. You heard the song?
Yeah, no, he could, bro. He could rap. Like he could
He
really rap.
can
That's
rap.
a
Yo,
good thing.
Zeddy Will can rap. I was surprised. I started going through because he put the clip out with party at the beach down in Go. You heard it?
Yeah.
That shit hard. He ain't put it out yet, but I heard the song and I'm like, I already know what he finna do to this. And he what? He finna do something crazy to that. I don't know. I need to be outside when that come out. But yeah, first song, Can't Go Broke by Zeddy Will. That would be my first one. Shout out to that dude. And then I would say my second song, let me just go back because have I done this song Far Away by Yeba?
I don't think so.
That song is hard. Far Away by Yeba featuring ASAP Rocky.
Okay. Okay.
That song is hard. So I'll do those two. Shout out Zeddy Will.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if shouting out Zeddy was like. Now Zeddy was hard. I'm not gonna sit here and hate. I'm just like.
Like my thing is, I think because he's trying to make because he's a content creator and he's trying to make music that work with the content. Like it kind of come off corny how he may market it. But just go listen to the like, bro. What was the other song he put out that I liked? He had a couple of them that I liked, bro. I'm not going to sit here and cap.
Yeah. No. There's a couple of them. That, I want some stuff. I want that shit hard.
Yeah. So anyway, we don't gotta sit here and keep. We don't need a Zeddy
Zeddy
Will
will
segment.
breakdown.
We don't.
Okay. All right.
All right, y'all. It's happening. That's all I'm gonna say. It's happening right now.
Slowly but surely.
It ain't
It's
slow
there.
no more. It ain't slow no more.
Quick
It's
vibes.
happening.
Quick maps.
See you next week.